me how I know that. Right. So here we go. We have Kiwi Bond 930. This is our screen adhesive. Right. 2-part system. So obviously that's your glue. And this little bad boy is your hardener. Right there. You're gonna want some brushes, some stirrers, and a plastic tub. Now don't fucking ask me what size this is. This is where it gets pretty unscientific, but look, I'll put it this way. If I was having a few beers, I wouldn't be fucking using this. It ain't real big, so. But I was just pulling the freaking seal off this bad boy. I was about to flip out, to be honest with you. But it's fucking inches away from losing my shit. I don't know if you can see, when I tip that into that little thing there, it's clear. Now, this is my previous glue. This is the HMT 1000. Well, HMT if you're an asshole, and it's red. So what it means is that when it goes on the screen, you can see where you've been, which is kind of handy. But thankfully, as I progressed, it became clear to me that this is red. So that's all good. I was thinking of how could I make it red or colour it to so it shows up on the screen. But there you go. Crisis averted. I can relax, and we are back on track. So I'm just pretty much going to go ahead and fill this cup up, because obviously there's another 4 screens to go after this one. So if you're doing smaller screens or just just one, for example, you're going to have to use a bit of judgment. You're going to have to engage that noggin and figure it out, or even don't do what I do and actually work it out. I'm filling it up. Oh, hold on. I didn't leave a lot of room for hardener, but that's right. You don't need much. That's the kind of a illustrating good point here. That you really don't need much of this stuff. But I could have put a bit less than that. See, that's holding the fucking phone and trying to do something else at the same time. It's multitasking my ass. Right. That's trippy. Oh, that's trippy. Oh, good look at that. It's trippy. Oh my. Now, did you take note of how much I put in there? I would bet that that's going to be freaking plenty. Alright. I'm just going to give that a stir. I'm going to come back. That's at a right good mix up. I'm happy with that. So, brush. Faithful brush. And let's start putting some on the frame. Now, just as I mentioned earlier, we're going to need some weight just to hold down that mesh. So here's a couple I've prepared here. Have them ready, because it dries pretty quickly, this stuff. Nothing worse than rushing around at the last minute after you put the glue down like a chicken with his goddamn head cut off, trying to find something. So here we go. Here's a little tip. Once it's on, once you've got a nice coverage, move on. Don't play with it, because it ends up going rubbery almost. You just got to get it on while it's still wet and just keep moving forward, really. And don't get it on the screen, top to on the middle, out in the middle here. It does come off, but you're better off just trying to keep it on the edge. Get every area right out to both edges of your wooden frame. Get all the way out there. Not that it matters, but I mean, just get it on the first time and keep going. Because if I went back now and started mucking around because I didn't get enough on here, maybe I'd do it as an example. But if I get back out on this edge and just, it almost like it starts pulling it back up again. And starts looking shitty. So just get it down, do it right the first time. Get a good even layer down the first time, and fucking leave it, mum. Now I probably should have just mentioned, as you can see, I've glued pretty much the entire 3/4 of the perimeter. But put the weights down before you lay the glue down on. This is the area where the mesh wasn't quite hitting the frame. So put the weights down before you lay that bit of glue, because you're kind of defeating the purpose otherwise. It means we've got a nice surface contact here, and I'll just carry on. You can see how it's bubbling here. That's due to that problem that I was talking about. See how I pushed that down like that and it's actually touching, and I've got to fucking act fast. So I'll just try and figure this out and we'll get back. Alright, so as we can see, the glue is down around the entire perimeter of the frame. Now, we did have this little issue down here. So basically all I've done is put a little bit of scrap board in there, you can see, with the clamp. It's just holding this piece of scrap board here down. Essentially what that's doing is just pulling the outer edge of the mesh onto our frame here, pretty much just putting pressure here. So we've got positive contact for the glue. So that's all I did there. Obviously not ideal. The problem is that the frame needs to come up, and we can do that for the next one. There's bolts underneath here. So I'll just lift that up slightly, and it's just going to give us a little bit more angle on the outer edge of the mesh, and that should resolve that. That's all that was. But, you get these fucking, the shit happens. It's all good, y'all. Okay, so top tip here, right here. When you're in between screens, obviously you've got to wait for them to dry. Depends on the weather. I'm going to use the hair dryer. But anyway, chuck a bit of cling film on top, or Glad wrap if you're nasty. Just to, you know, goes off this stuff. So just to, whatever you can do to inhibit the curing process, we'll do that. But anyway, we've had that filled to the brim, so that's after one screen. So we've got another, obviously got another 4 to go here. So we're not going to be too far away, to be honest. I mean, for those of you who want to know their measurements and blah blah, well, it's pretty easy to figure out the capacity of that little cup there and have a look what we've got left at the end of it. It's pretty expensive, this stuff, so I mean, the more you can do to not waste it, the better off you are. But I don't think we'll be too far away at it. Yep, another handy hint. That's our brush. Damn, almost clean by now. But that's solvent in there, that's paint thinners. Right? You might not have that hanging around, but I'd suggest get some. Just go through and get some, would you? Nah, but it's seriously, that'll just keep all that glue loose in between screens. So as I said, it does go off pretty quick, and there's nothing worse than working with a fucking brush that's hard as rock, you know. You just do that. I'm telling you. I'm bloody telling you, mate. Right? Okay, so we're just about ready to cut the excess off the outside of this frame here. Before you do that, before you go ahead and do that, we want to name this bad boy, so I know what the hell's on here. This is a 120 mesh, so I'm going to call it as such. And then we know what we're dealing with. So at this point, glue's dry, we've named the mesh, we've named the screen, we know what's on there. It's just really just a matter of going around the outer perimeter here and with our blade, as carefully as possible, and cutting this off. I think you're cutting your grip tape off, you know, it's really that sort of procedure, you know, trimming the old grip tape. New grip job, baby. That's all we're doing, is just running that down there. You don't want to catch the frame. Just running that all the way down and around the freaking corner, baby. If you do fuck up, if you get a little few stragglers, you can always go back later and trim them up. It's definitely not the end of the world. Don't lose fucking sleep over it. Whatever you do. Right. Down here. Like this. Whoop. This is it, man. We're there. Right. That, my precious, is that. Oh, we've got a bit of a slump there. Ooh, I don't know about that. Shit. Oh, fuck. What happened there? Why is that so slumpy? You know what though? Being that it's a 120 mesh, which is a pretty heavy, we can just use that for it. That's an underbase screen. We'll just be laying down white with that, so there's no real detail in there. So I'm not too concerned about that at all. You know, and we can sort of nah, that's fine, absolutely fine. But I would have liked it a bit tighter down here. It may have been to do with this little fuck up down here, but you know, all in all, it's a screen with mesh on it. At the end of the day, you're gonna get little fuck ups, you know. If you're not into fuck ups in life, don't, for the God's sake, don't take up screen printing skateboards. Please, for the love of God, do not. Because you're going to find out pretty quickly that fuck ups are a daily occurrence, and that's just, you're going to have to learn to live with those. But that's it, I'm happy with that. That'll be just fine. We use it as an underbase screen. I mean, 120, like I say, 120 mesh, when you're letting a fair bit of ink through with one of those. So obviously you wouldn't use it for highly detailed half-tone top screens or whatever. But stoked, 4 to go. So that's over and out, and I'll catch you back there when they're all done.